Before this video begins, I'd like to address a few things. First of all, yes, I am fully aware that Blink is a modern day classic that perfectly introduced the Weeping Angel, which are arguably, if not factually, Doctor Who's greatest monster. Yes, I'm also aware that the God Complex is a really eerie Backrooms-esque episode that is honestly, in my opinion, one of the most underrated episodes of the modern era. Anyway, my point is, I want to talk about Series 8, Episode 4, Listen. Listen is one of my personal favourite episodes of the show, but it's also, in my opinion, easily the scariest episode the Doctor Who's ever created, and I'd like to talk about why. I'm going to come clean, guys. Originally this video was going to be titled, Why There Was Never a Monster in Listen, and if you've seen the episode then that might be a bit, confusing, but I've always found this episode really fascinating, perhaps more than any other episode of the show's era, because it's an episode that, depending on who you ask, has no antagonist. It's genuinely an episode that thrives off fear and paranoia. That's so rare for Doctor Who, and I honestly adore that in this episode. But I should probably explain the premise of Listen so you actually know what I'm talking about. We first meet the Doctor in his TARDIS, scribbling on his blackboard and theorising about a potential creature built to hide, built to be invisible from human sight. He then yells out, "What would you do?" to this so-called creature, and to which the chalk rolls on the floor, and upon his blackboard he sees one simple word written: listen. This is enough to send him into a crazy, wacky, goofy Doctor craze, in which he starts to theorise and go wild with rampant ideas, to the point where he chases Clara down in the middle of a crazy weird date with Danny Pink, but that's a whole other dumb subplot, don't get me started on that. And in his crazy chasing of her, they end up going backwards in time to Danny's past, in which there's this amazing scene where there's this creature on the bed. I mean, I would describe it, but you don't want to hear my mumbling doing it, so just play the clip.
Lovely view out this window.
Yeah.
Now, there are two possibilities. Possibility one, it's just one of your friends standing there. He's playing a joke on you. Possibility two, it isn't.
So, plan? Plans are good.
You on the bed, I'm talking to you now. Go in peace. We won't look. Just go.
Is it gone?
Don't look round. Not yet.
What is it?
Imagine a thing that must never be seen. What would it do if you saw it?
I don't know.
Neither do I. Close your eyes.
What?
Close your eyes. You too, Clara. Give it what it wants. Breath on the back of your neck. Like your hair's standing on end. That means don't look round.
It's such a brilliant scene because yes, it is partly possible that this was just another child in the nursing home, but it's also very possible that this was some paranormal extraterrestrial creature. And I love that. There's something amazing about this episode and genuinely terrifying. Because in real life scary situations, there's always a shred of doubt in your mind, like if you think you see something out the corner of your eye in the middle of the room, and then you look away and you realise it could be a shadow or a shirt hanging on the door, but there's always every chance that it could be something uncomfortable, something that doesn't really belong there. And that's what this episode captures so perfectly. It's a feeling that all of us have had at some point in our lives, even if you don't believe in the paranormal. You've all had this feeling at some point, and this episode just captures it perfectly. Later they travel into the future and meet Awesome Pink, a relative of Clara and Danny's, assuming that they do actually get it on, which doesn't really happen, though, spoilers. They go further in time towards the end of the universe, where they see that the entire world is gone. Nothing out there, just dead land. Orson's terrified and doesn't want to sleep in the ship. When the nightlight comes on, the Doctor sees there are a couple of eerie words written on the door. He realises this means that Orson has to remind himself not to open the door to the dark. Then, the sounds begin.
Why are we doing this? Why don't we just go?
Because I need to know.
Why? About what?
Suppose that there are creatures that live to hide. They'll only show themselves to the very young or the very old or the mad or anyone who wouldn't be believed.
Okay.
What would those creatures do when everyone was gone? When there was only one man left standing in the universe?
What's that?
Potentially the hull cooling.
Potentially?
Believably. Someone knocking. What's that? In the mirror or the corner of your eye? What's that footstep following but never passing by?
Did we come to the end of the universe because of a nursery rhyme? That's you turning, right?
No, I have to know.
Doctor.
TARDIS, now.
Okay, somebody is out there. Now we know we can leave. Doctor!
It's a pressure lock. Releasing it could have triggered the opening mechanism.
Is there even an atmosphere out there?
There is an air shell around the ship. Why are you still here?
Because I'm not going to leave you in danger!
Then you will never travel with me again because that is the deal. TARDIS, now do as you are told!
You're an idiot.
I know. What's happening?
He's opening the door.
Perhaps they're all just waiting. Perhaps when we're all dead, out they'll come a slithering from underneath the bed.
Oh, no, come on! What's happening?
Now this is partly what makes this the scariest episode of the entire show. Anyway, the Doctor then opens the door and the vacuum of space then comes into the thing and ooh, crazy, ooh. Then we go back in time to the Doctor's childhood, and Clara is the one who grabs his foot, and she does this absolutely beautiful speech about how fear makes companions of us all.
So please, just listen. I know you're afraid. But being afraid is alright. Because didn't anybody ever tell you? Fear is a superpower. Fear doesn't have to make you cruel or cowardly. Fear can make you kind.
No, not the hugging. No, I'm against the hugging, please.
It doesn't matter if there's nothing under the bed or in the dark, so long as you know it's okay to be afraid of it. If you listen to nothing else, listen to this. You're always going to be afraid. Even if you learn to hide it. Fear is like a companion. A constant companion, always there. But that's okay.
It's absolutely brilliant. I definitely recommend that you watch the episode, especially just for this bit. But then she says to the Doctor that she never thought that was a creature, but what if there was? And this is what I love so much about this episode, is that was there ever a creature, or was it all in the Doctor's head? It's never made really clear. And you have your own personal theories. I personally believe that there was never any creature in this episode, and that's partly what makes it such a fantastic story. Because half of the time, there is nothing paranormal. It's all in our heads. It's all some spooky little tangent that we go on, right? Because let's be honest, we've all had sounds in our house, but it's the pipes, right? The pipes. It's next door. The heating. But what if it wasn't? What if there truly was something on the other side of that door? What if there really is something in the house with you? Something that doesn't belong there? Something paranormal? Sometimes it's not. Sometimes the sounds really are unexplainable. Sometimes the whispers are difficult to explain away. Sometimes there really is something there.